right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Choom Gang and Expulso North proudly bring to you one of the most random tag teams in the world. Thili on the phone because there's too much happening to get him into the studio. Dablock on the mic because I'm still doing my duty, yo. I'd say, like, what, Generation Next? I don't know. Yeah?
That works.
We are Generation Next. Like, what would our tag team name be if we actually had one? Or would I be singles and you'd be the manager? Or would I be the manager and you would be singles?
I feel like it'd have to be a team, but I have no idea. I feel like we would just go name and name.
That refreshing sound has been brought to you by Old Milwaukee. Old Milwaukee. Because new isn't always better. Right. So yeah, how was your week?
It was good. Went to had a wedding last night. Watched a lot of wrestling. Watched a lot of MMA. Got more ones made to watch right after the podcast. So.
All right.
Yeah. How about yours?
Well, I'd like to blame you for my first gluten-free experience.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, I was over by my doctor's, and then I remembered you said you worked in that general area, so I'm like, let me stop in and see if he's there. And then once I got in there, I saw everything. I was just like, well, they all look delicious. So I ended up buying the double vanilla cupcake. Yeah, edible options. Check that out on 4th Street in St. Catharines.
Yeah, 4th Avenue.
4th Avenue, yes. 4th Avenue, that's where it's at. You can catch me, the next place you'll catch me is at Taps on the 20th, unless someone slanders my name fervently before then. I mean, like, I see you doing good, I see you mess up, I consider your situation, and I validate your disposition. Then you screw up with me? No. Sorry, can't do it.
No.
This is why I vicariously watch people beat the shit out of other people.
Yes, exactly.
Oh man. So, what do we got to start here?
I think we start with Raw.
Raw, okay. Baltimore. What's this now? Seth Rollins. No, Raw Tag Team Champions Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman defeat the OC. Well, I don't know. Things are pretty complicated as it is between Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman. They'll battle over Rollins' Universal title and defend the Raw Tag Team titles together at Clash of Champions. But what was shaping up to be a relatively straightforward contract signing quickly grew into something thornier when the OC interfered, leading to the impromptu tag team match between the two squads that highlighted both the strengths and weaknesses of the still young pairing. The impetus for the Good Brothers' arrival was for the frustration of the United States champion, AJ Styles, the OC's head honcho, who believed he had better to claim a title match than Strowman, who only had to glance at Raw Championship to get a match. Adding to Styles' frustration, as yet, he has no challenger for Clash of Champions. Forgive me, ladies and gentlemen, I feel like I'm reading this so choppy right now, but I'm just I'm just trying to catch my bearings. Okay, the Phenomenal One voiced his gripes by tearing up Rollins and Strowman's signed contract, and Strowman responded by flinging the table into AJ's face, setting off a brawl between the two sides. In the ensuing matchup, Rollins and Strowman used a unique combination of speed and strength to claim the victory. The chemistry faltered beyond that, however, as Strowman inadvertently trucked Rollins in a post-match scrum, leading to a combined beating from the full OC and Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode, who will challenge Rollins and Strowman at Clash of Champions. The 5-on-2... What? You had something to say about that, don't you? The 5-on-2 odds proved too much as Rollins was dispatched with a super kick and glorious DDT, while Strowman met his end with a supersized magic killer and phenomenal forearm from Styles. To say the night ended in disaster for Rollins and Strowman would be the understatement. But perhaps there's a silver lining. Not just that they'll get a redo on the contract signing next week with Stone Cold Steve Austin as the moderator. I had to say it like that. If you don't say it with excitement, you shouldn't say it at all. For all the lingering tension over the Universal title match, the shared beatdown might only serve to make them a stronger team in the long run. If nothing else, they're each other's enemy of each other's enemy. And that might be more than enough.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm still up in the air as to where they're going to go with this. I feel like Braun should win the Universal title because Braun Strowman versus The Fiend at Hell in a Cell would be the greatest thing ever to me.
I thought we were going for the Demon versus the Fiend.
I mean, the Demon's out for a while because he just got married. So he's not going to be back for Hell in a Cell next month. Like, we could get that at next year's Hell in a Cell, but right now, this is something where, like, this is definitely... They've set up... I'm pretty sure they set it up in a promo on Firefly Funhouse today, like on the one we're going to go over today from Raw, that he was challenging the winner of Seth and Braun. And I think with the history of Braun Strowman being the Wyatt family, I think it would be pretty fucking amazing to have those two go at each other in Hell in a Cell.
I concur.
And then the Fiend would win.
I don't know about that.
Yep, Fiend would win. The Fiend can't lose yet, bro. You gotta make him strong as fuck.
I'm not arguing. I just
Whoever he faces, he has to win at Hell in a Cell. Has to.
Well, seeing as how he has Mankind's finisher, I guess.
Well, not just that. I mean, because Mankind never won Hell in a Cell. That's for goddamn sure.
Yeah.
But...
Well, he put on a good show every time.
He what?
He put on a good show every time.
Oh, that's for sure. But he, just like he's so evil and like the Hell in a Cell kind of thing fits his persona so well that to have him in a Hell in a Cell match and to lose, I think is idiotic. Like, I think that'd be a bad move on their part.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, you want to catch it? We'll alternate.
Sure. Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode defeat Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins. This is, my two favorite teams going against each other. You don't know how hard it was for me to pick sides here.
I can hear the sarcasm.
You what?
I can hear the sarcasm.
What's that?
In picking the team.
No, what's sarcasm? I'm not familiar.
Whatever.
But, the greatest tag team ever formed, Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode, became a tag team last week and immediately got themselves a title match, which means they have a lot of catching up to do. Fortunately, an accelerated timetable doesn't seem to be too much trouble for the newly formed tandem. The win over former Raw Tag Team champions Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins was quick, emphatic, and incredibly impressive. As the show-off and the Glorious One showcased a remarkable amount of teamwork that rivaled even those of the former champs they were facing. Once Ryder was out of the picture and the pair had Hawkins to themselves, the challengers pounced, with Ziggler landing an on-the-button super kick that sent Hawkins staggering straight into the path of Roode's glorious DDT. As unlikely as these two seemed as a team, let alone championship challengers, their combined actions throughout the first hour of Raw should dispel any notions that they're not the real deal. There's something there. I disagree that there's something there. I think it's trash.
I am just trying to figure out why they, it's like they put two heels together. That's great, but one of them's going to turn face at the end of this run. Well, they turned their back on each other.
Yeah, and neither of them should turn face.
No. Nah.
Bobby Roode should stay heel, and Ziggler should stay home.
I don't know. I'm less annoyed with his character now than I was when he first came back.
Yeah, I'm still as annoyed with him as a, human being, person, creative. Like, I just don't like him. I just feel like he's bad at what he's doing. He's too talented to be so uncreative, and it annoys me greatly.
Is uncreative even a word?
I mean, yeah, it's gotta be.
It must be, because it came out so fluidly.
It has to be. But if not, then it should be to describe him.
To create a new word to describe somebody. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I don't think it is a new word, but I think, I'm pretty sure it works for him.
Lacey Evans defeats Natalya. It hasn't been an easy few weeks for Natalya, but Raw offered the former SmackDown Women's Champion her first glimmer of hope since SummerSlam in the form of a very winnable match against Lacey Evans. The Queen of Hearts, understandably riled up thanks to the insults and injuries inflicted on her by Sasha Banks, used all the recent indignities as fuel. And the strategy paid off against the sassy Southern Belle, at least to a point. Natalya opened the match by rushing Evans from behind the entrance ramp, and her usual smile stood stark in contrast to a notably more aggressive style that only grew more and more feral as the match progressed. Evans grabbed a hold of the ropes to break the offensive press, then tossed a handkerchief in the Canadian's face before uncorking a woman's right that dropped Natalya for 3. Kudos to Natalya for taking her destiny into her own hands after a dispiriting run. But she's not out of the woods yet, and there's clearly something to be said for fighting so hard. You forget to fight smart.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what they're not really doing much with Natalya right now, other than just having her lose.
They're jobbing her.
Yeah, they're definitely jobbing her out a lot. Lacey has not even been really on TV or anything much since SummerSlam. So the whole thing is just it felt like kind of a throwaway match just to get them both on the show. So yeah, this was what it was. It was there. I felt like they could have maybe given a couple other matches a little bit more time, or segments a little more time, rather than doing that. Just because, like I said, it felt like a dark match.
Okay. That's it.
But the next one here, Sasha Banks challenged Becky Lynch to a Raw Women's Championship match at WWE Clash of Champions. If nothing else, Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks have been refreshingly, unquestionably blunt in the early stages of their rivalry. No cryptic hints or double talk. Sasha attacked Becky to make a play for the spotlight she feels she deserves, which Becky countered by pointing out that the only reason Sasha is being talked about again is because she attacked the man. That trend continued on Raw, where Lynch responded to Banks' latest attack with her typical candor. In short, she thinks Sasha is mad because she was supposed to be the game changer Becky ended up being, and is probably bitter that Bayley seems to be better off without her. And Sasha, surprisingly, agreed. She was supposed to get the spotlight, and maybe she would have if Nia Jax had punched her in the face. Clearly, neither woman was holding back, but the boss's brutal honesty led to an agreement. When Banks refused to fight Lynch unless she was challenging for the Raw Women's title at Clash of Champions, the man accepted. In short, Becky gets Sasha, Sasha gets Becky. Both of them get a moment, everyone gets what they want. Including us, who get to see those two fucking go after each other.
That's gonna be bonkers, bro. That's gonna be... I want to say that's gonna be better than Charlotte versus Sasha. Because...
I think it has the potential to be.
It does. It has the makings of being that, because... Becky's one tough bitch. Dude, woman, man, I don't know. Becky's just tough.
She's a bad Irish broad, for sure.
She's one bad Irish lass. So, to see her, stand up to that fist and still fight Because that's what nobody's mentioning. Like, she got punched in her face, and it broke her face, but she got up and she kept fighting.
Yeah, she's a badass.
Just like, I'm sorry, I stubbed my toe and I'm sitting down for an hour and a half. Forget that shit. Ow, it hurts. You know what I mean? Like,
100.
Forget that nonsense. Okay, Baron Corbin defeats Cedric Alexander, King of the Ring quarterfinals. Of course, it had to be my turn when I sparked the blunt. So technically, there's an asterisk attached to Corbin's win over Cedric Alexander in the King of the Ring quarterfinals. Alexander ran afoul of the OC before the match, subjected to an unprovoked locker room mugging that left him far less than 100%. And that's where we count lingering damage the former WWE Cruiserweight Champion suffered at the hands of Cesaro last week. But King Corbin cares not for technicalities. In fact, he exploits them. The Lone Wolf did not hesitate to target Alexander's banged up left arm, ramming him over into the ring post and leaving the high flyer a step slower than usual. Corbin's strategy of simply waiting for Alexander to leap into his clutches didn't quite bear fruit for some time. Cedric simply kept kicking out, and he even turned the tables by ramming Corbin's shoulder into the post to even the odds. But the would-be King's patience paid off as he tripped Alexander on the ropes and quickly pounced with the end of days to secure the win. Should Corbin's dream come true and the crown rests on his shoulders, it will likely be a bitter pill for the WWE Universe to swallow, especially given Alexander's condition. But the same ruthlessness that earns the fans' scorn might well be what carries the Lone Wolf to the throne. It's a possibility now. Best we all get used to it.
Goddamn right. Better all get used to it.
That what?
Because I have two picks, like the two that I think are potentially going to win at this point, like at the quarterfinal section. I think either Baron Corbin is going to win and is my heel pick, we'll say, and Chad Gable is my face pick.
I can see either one of them winning, yeah.
Yeah, because Chad Gable, they've been digging up, and he has been killing it. His match with Andrade, we'll get to later, but his match with Andrade on SmackDown was fucking incredible. Like, it was a pay-per-view quality match. It was so goddamn good.
So was Ricochet versus Samoa Joe, but we'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah, Ricochet versus Samoa Joe was a crazy fucking match too. That's for goddamn sure.
That was like, yo, I saw that one through and through.
Yeah, yeah, that was a damn good match, and we'll definitely get to that one next. Pretty soon. So next one here, the Viking Raiders defeat Brian Thomas and Tyler Hastings. So this was strange. They turned the Viking Raiders face here because Brian Thomas and Tyler Hastings, who looked like they were in a Stray Cats cover band, came out and just started shitting all over the town, over Baltimore. Got the crowd booing the hell out of them. Viking Raiders came in, smash, and big face pop for the win. So they're setting them up to go against a heel tag team to win those titles when they do it. From what I can tell, anyways.
Okay.
Yeah, but so here it is. Challenging the Viking Raiders has proven to be a hazardous choice, especially for local competitors. But the four souls who tried their luck this week had a unique take on volunteering for the job. They wanted to make Eric and Ivar look like Baltimoreans, that they were Pittsburgh locals who made the drive, did them no favors to the Baltimore crowd. In short, they did not. Eric and Ivar disposed of the two the same way they have so many others, ensuring the raid will continue unless they are stopped.
I love how you get the easy ones.
Yeah, well, hey.
Ricochet versus so like, I mean, that one was put to rest, basically. That one was a one and done.
Yeah.
Ricochet versus Samoa Joe ended in a double pinfall. King of the Ring quarterfinals. Wow. Going into the King of the Ring quarterfinals, it was apparent that longtime rivals Ricochet and Samoa Joe knew each other well enough to battle to a dead heat. That was not expected, perhaps. What was not expected, perhaps, was the two would quite literally cancel each other out. The pair's show-stopping quarterfinal battle ended without a clear winner, as a top rope coquina clutch from Joe led to a backdrop reversal by Ricochet, and what referee John Cohen ruled as a double pinfall after two landed on top of each other for a 3 count. The ending was controversial enough on its face, but given the ferocity of the fight, it seemed particularly worrisome. It was hard to even find a thorough line in the superstars' respective plans, as they simply threw everything they had at each other, including, in Ricochet's case, their own lives, their own selves. Luckily, Cole immediately got on the headset to communicate with WWE officials behind the curtain, and a ruling was later reached. The double pin did not lead to an elimination, and both will advance to a triple threat match against semifinal qualifier Baron Corbin.
See, and this is where I think this is the thing that makes me pick Baron Corbin. The fact that he feels like he keeps getting screwed over all the time, and then now all of a sudden he's got a triple threat match in the King of the Ring tournament when he thought he was moving on to another singles match.
Yep.
It's fantastic. Like that is so goddamn great. But I think he'll win that and then face Chad Gable in the finals, and hopefully Chad Gable wins. But I would not at all be disappointed if Baron Corbin becomes King of the Ring, because I think he will be able to get so much heat off of that, and he will annoy everyone.
Oh my gosh, I'm already annoyed just thinking about it.
Yeah, King Corbin, think of it, man. It's genius.
Man.
It is awesome. And look at this. Just like perfection, I end up with the Bray Wyatt section.
Dropping bars.
Bray Wyatt addressed recent controversies on Firefly Funhouse. Bray Wyatt has been a very, very bad boy. Not only did he maul Finn Balor at SummerSlam, he's sorry though. He apparently also laid down a challenge to either Seth Rollins or Braun Strowman at Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. His besuited, horned boss puppet was furious, but he was soon placated with a wad of cash to the mouth. That was genius. Did you see the Firefly Funhouse this week?
Yeah, I saw it. I every episode gets more and more deranged.
It was so genius that he was able to convince Vince. He was able to convince the Vince puppet by just putting hundreds in his mouth, showing him meaning that because Bray's new character is so popular and bringing in money and merch money, that's what is going to allow Vince to keep allowing him to do whatever he wants. So genius.
Yep.
In any case, Bray has been watching Rollins and Strowman, and he's not sold on them as a team. As far as he's concerned, they're too selfish and greedy to coexist, whereas he has a crew that has taught him the value of teamwork. Never mind that help sign Ramblin' Rabbit is holding up. They help him cope with pain. The Fiend, however, helps him inflict it. Wyatt closed out his latest Firefly Funhouse with an ominous warning. See you in hell. Who he was talking to remains unclear, but it's safe to say they know who they are.
No!
Yep.
No!
Whoever wins the Hell in a Cell match.
That's one of those, honestly, man, that's one of those ones that's one of those vignettes that hit home, hit the mark.
It is perfection.
Yes. The subliminals.
100% perfection. There's nothing that could have been a better promo for him to cut in that episode of Firefly Funhouse. There was no way to make it better.
It's eerie as hell, too, man.
Yeah, the See You in Hell fit perfectly. And then, let me in, and then ended. So good. So good. I'm so excited for that, for whichever of them wins that feud with the Fiend is going to be fucking amazing.
Yep. The Miz defeats Cesaro with an Intercontinental title match against Shinsuke Nakamura at WWE Clash of Champions. Looming, The Miz walked into Raw in need of a statement win. He got one by knocking off Cesaro. who was fresh from a clinic with NXT UK's Ilya Dragunov. Side note, watch that match.
Yeah, you watched that match. That match was fucking unreal.
And seemed to be set on continuing his own hot streak. In fact, it seemed to Cesaro would dispatch Miz the same way he defeated Dragunov. Pop-up European uppercut into a neutralizer, but the A-lister proved more than wily than his opponent expected. He escaped Cesaro's signature maneuver and writhed himself into position for the skull-crushing finale. One win does not a reversal make, and a heel against Nakamura hasn't gotten any less steep. But anyone who underestimates Miz's ability to climb it does so at their peril.
So, there's a couple things here. This match was really, really good. The Miz, I think there's a chance that they put that IC title on him. I don't think they should yet. I love him as Intercontinental Champion. But Shinsuke, I think they should do something with Shinsuke as IC Champion before they take it off him. The other thing I want to say is, and I'll just mention it now because we already went over all the results and everything from it last week. I watched all of NXT UK TakeOver Cardiff in Wales.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, it is a much better wrestling show from start to finish than AEW All Out was.
Wow, okay.
It was fucking incredible. Like, every single match was crazy. Tyler Bate and Walter went 55 plus minutes in their match.
Jeez, that's cardio right there.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. The feats of strength shown. Now, you'd expect I'd be saying by Walter, but no. The feats of strength shown by Tyler Bate were incredible. Like, he lifted Walter over his head several times. He spun him around, and flew him, like, did release suplexes over the head, did one off of the side of the, off the apron onto the outside of the ring. It was an incredible match for the main event. All of the matches were fucking incredible, and if you have the network or the means to watch it some other way, watch that entire pay-per-view because it's perfect.
All right, you heard it here first. You are listening to Tough Talks with Thili and Dablock, where we bring you the latest in combat sports. Come again?
Yeah. No, I just said boom. So we'll go to the next one here. SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley attacked Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch after the first ever Women's Championship showcase. So this is the one that we were having to dance around during the last episode of the show because we had both seen this. But yeah, insane. It's like seeing a fucking unicorn, seeing Bayley turn heel.
Seeing a unicorn turn into a zebra.
She what, sorry?
Seeing a unicorn turn into a zebra or something.
Yeah, well, exactly. It was just like, it was so crazy because, like, it's so rare because who would have thought with all the merch money she brings in from little girls that Vince would risk that. I mean, that was the whole reason he didn't do it the last 6 times it was pitched. Just with the merch. But, amazing idea there. So we'll go to it here. With all the talk about Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, and the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, there hasn't been a lot of people turning their eyes toward Bayley. That seems sure to change after the events of the first ever Women's Championship Showcase, which pitted Becky and Bayley, the Raw and SmackDown Women's Champions, respectively, against the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, in a match that Bayley promised would determine who was in whose shadow. The match ended in a disqualification when Sasha Banks, who had been lurking ringside, attacked Lynch with a backstabber, handing Becky and Bayley the victory. The boss' attempt to brutalize Lynch with a chair was quickly stopped by the Huggable One.
Why do they call her that still?
Well, because she, in that sentence, she hadn't been heel yet.
Yeah, or so it seemed. Sorry, there you go.
The Huggable One, or so it seemed, until after a long pointed stare down when Bayley flashed a sly smile at Sasha and turned the steel on the man.
raining down blows on Lynch's spine as Raw faded to black. Why the lovable champion suddenly decided to commit such an act may yet be revealed in time. Suffice to say, she wasn't the one in anybody's shadow. So that's for goddamn sure. Because one thing I will say, as much as I've been liking what Sasha Banks been doing recently, that girl cannot swing a chair convincingly to save her life. Her chair shots look so off, and they showed jet around. It barely can absolutely swing a chair. The girl can swing it like a motherfucker.
Yeah, a little bit would be with it.
Yeah, Sasha's not great at the wheelchair beating yet, it seems.
Well, we'll come to that, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. So, SmackDown is next.
Yeah, just trying to bring that up.
Yeah.
This episode, and every episode of Tough Talks with Thili and Black's brought to you by Rose North and True Gang Home Records.
All day.
Check out the True Room on YouTube. Also, like basic deals.
Yeah, absolutely. Check them out, which I like. All the buttons that let you press that, then press the button.
This button. Okay. I'm chef on this.
I'll start it off. Bailey must be attack Flair. Bailey still a smile. Despite on her face night on Raw, she definitely won the champion back into the chair and showed solidarity with Sasha Banks. SmackDown, the champion, arrived on the blue band, followed by the WWE Universe's reaction. Fisher said this shocking she's still the same person, the type of human being who stands by her best friend's life in her way. She wants to be a SmackDown champion for WWE Universe without us. She vowed to defeat the most professional of the WWE Championship player. That was also Queen using her cut off the notice that Bailey saved the SmackDown now because it wouldn't be her champion. However, then arrived, and Charlotte Flair took it upon herself to make the first move when she decked Bailey. The Boss darted into the ring to scrap with Flair until Bailey broke it up with several savage chair strikes to the back of the Queen. With Charlotte down, Bailey handed the chair to Sasha, who brutalized Flair with several more swings before tossing it back to Bailey to cap off the attack. Banks and Bailey exited with the satisfaction of a job well done and a path of destruction in their wake. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the savage side of the women being shown.
Yeah, they're just going around beating the shit out of bitches.
Exactly. They're bringing back. I think they're using the women to bring back some of the Attitude Era.
A little bit.
It's definitely bringing back some memories of the Lita's and Trish's, the Mickey James's, and I don't think they were as hardware friendly.
No. I mean, yeah, they were. There was, Molly Holly. And
Lita. Molly Holly is a G, not even was.
Yeah, Lita. Trish got into those. Mickey got into those.
Wasn't Trish hardcore champion one time?
Did. What?
Wasn't Trish hardcore champion one time?
Maybe. I'm not sure, though.
I want to say yeah to that one. If you know, message us in the chat. Hit us up at The Block Online on Twitter or at David The Block Terrell on Facebook. We're trying to figure out if Trish Stratus was ever hardcore champion.
Yeah, definitely. That'd be that's a good one. Definitely.
All right.
No.
Until then, Elias defeats Ali in the King of the Ring quarterfinals. With the spot in the semifinals on the line, Ali squared off with Elias in the King of the Ring quarterfinals. Both superstars came out of the gates with their best stuff as Ali used his blinding speed and took to the skies. Elias attempted to counter by overpowering Ali, absolutely decimating his opponent on the outside. Ali targeted Elias' arm, even locking in a crossface, but the crooning superstar withstood an unbelievable super kick counter from Ali and avoided the 450 splash before immediately connecting with the drift away to punch his ticket to the quarterfinals. And Trish Stratus was a one-time hardcore champion. I'd like to thank my Oracle for that.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So, oh, wow. Okay. So we got Fire and Desire.
Yes. Yeah, Fire and Desire defeated Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. After butting heads with Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross earlier in the day during a championship photo shoot, Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville set out to put themselves in title contention by knocking off the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. Fire and Desire attempted to wear down the Goddess and Cross, but Bliss seemed to have Deville right where she wanted her. Down for a Twisted Bliss, a scuffle between Mandy and Cross on the outside caught Alexa's attention for a brief moment. However, giving Sonya enough time to get her knees up to counter Twisted Bliss, Fire and Desire followed up with a devastating tandem maneuver for the major victory over the title holders. Yeah, their little, the new little finisher they gave them for in this match is very, very good. I like it. I think they should.
Do they show it? Let's see. Let's see if they show it. Come on, commercial. We don't have time for you. Give me a second. I'm trying to see if they show the finishing move here. Alright. Yeah. Let's just skip ahead. Okay, go for Twist now. Okay, he's on top of. Okay, now it's going on. Jonah delivers the Bliss, knees up. She gets the tag. Alright, I'm going to describe the finishing to you. Oh my gosh, it's a running knee and a leg sweep. Jesus. Yeah. Jesus.
Yeah, it's great.
I gotta watch that one more time. Yeah, it's a sliding knee, and like you don't know which one to prepare for.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh, that was such a devastating maneuver. What do we call it? The burnouts?
I don't know. We'll see.
Like, we gotta give it the name, bro. We can't let some other wrestling podcast name it.
I think we're probably gonna see a name for it at Clash of Champions. I think they probably already have it.
Oh, they already have you saying, oh, that like Fire and Desire, Burnout. You know what I mean? The passion, the tires.
Oh yeah, I know it.
You know what I mean? Like she's sliding. I don't know. Either way, I'm just talking that smack. Let's get down to the next one. Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate this so much. Randy Orton and the Revival laid waste to Kofi Kingston. Oh my gosh. Randy Orton first reminded everyone the destruction that he has laid upon the New Day over recent weeks and called Kofi Kingston out to scrap tonight, only for Kofi to arrive while getting pummeled by the Revival.
Okay.
With Biggie and Xavier Woods both recuperating from the damage they suffered at the hands of the Orton and the Revival, Dash Wilder, Scott Dawson, and the Viper laid waste to the WWE Champion. With Kingston borderline defenseless, Orton repeatedly called him stupid while putting the boots to him. Kingston tried to fend off his tactics as best he could, but after doing one last flurry of punches, Kofi fell to the Super RKO, as Randy took firm control less than 2 weeks from the collision at WWE Clash of Champions.
Yeah, so far we're still at a point where Kofi is 100% winning at Clash of Champions, because he has been, he has not gone over in several weeks on Randy. So yeah, I mean, this is all awesome. I love the team up, and I think they're going to do some devastating shit during their match at Clash of Champions, because these two are just, they're both pros, and they're both fucking amazing at what they do.
I want to see.
They're going to get what?
I want to see Big E and Xavier come back out at Clash of Champions to defend Kofi from your boys there.
Stop that.
Yeah, them. And then just a Trouble in Paradise, bro. It's a one-time out of nowhere a super Trouble in Paradise from the top rope even.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I'd be down with that. Like I said, I'm at this point, I'm fairly certain that Kofi's winning. We'll see. If Kofi goes over next week, then I'll have a little bit of worry.
Yeah, or a springboard. Springboard's acceptable. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Next up, we had Chad Gable defeats Andrade in the King of the Ring quarterfinals. This match was amazing. The King of the Ring quarterfinals concluded with a major showdown between two emerging tourney favorites. Chad Gable and Andrade. After Zelina Vega boldly declared Andrade the next king of the ring right in Gable's face prior to the match, the action was absolutely electric from the opening bell as these two surging superstars collided for the first time ever. Andrade seemingly had Gable reeling, but Gable persevered in the critical moment, somehow shaking off the stiffest of elbows from Andrade and Vega's interference to pull off the most impressive roll-up you'll ever see for an unreal victory to earn his spot in the semifinals.
Wow.
So yeah, amazing match. Definitely worth going back and watching. Both of those guys are fucking incredible in the ring, and I think at the moment Chad Gable is having kind of a bit of a resurgence and might get a real big push moving forward.
Did you know about Jason Jordan coming back as a heel?
Jason Jordan, God bless his soul. God rest his soul.
Yeah, no, his neck injury, they were saying was pretty serious.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. That's, why, rest in peace. I miss him.
Oh, man.
He was great. He was good, really good in ring. I thought he didn't do very much as a singles competitor. That was interesting. Like his turn in the what's it called in the Shield was not very good. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, I think Chad Gable is better overall in ring and on mic than Jason was. I thought Jason was really stiff on the mic and didn't pull it off. But we'll see. If he does come back, then hopefully he kills it.
Aleister Black defeats Shelton Benjamin. I had to say it like that. Yeah. Still with as much zest as ever for a fight, Aleister Black squared off against Shelton Benjamin on SmackDown Live after declaring that he was tired of waiting for someone to knock on his door and fight. Benjamin attempted to use his experience to slow down the Dutch Destroyer, but Black caught fire early and never let up, stringing together an unbelievable attack en route to connecting with the pinpoint Black Mass for the victory.
Yeah, that was, not a very long match, but as you would expect from these two, just really good technically. The Black Mask pinpoint is the exact right word for it. It was exactly on the money. And that was awesome. Next up we had Shinsuke Nakamura defeats local competitor, and R-Truth wins the 24/7 championship.
Bam, bam.
Clearly looking to send a statement to his WWE Clash of Champions opponent, The Miz. Intercontinental Champion Shinsuke Nakamura made an example out of a local competitor on SmackDown Live, and Sami Zayn talked the whole damn time. Nakamura, of course, made quick work of the local competitor, finishing him off with a brutal Kinshasa. However, another title holder came into the mix when 24/7 champion Bo Dallas, who captured the title earlier in the evening by pinning Drake Maverick in the Boiler Room, darted to the ring to get away from the mob chasing him, but he was caught and defeated by the man he had defeated, Maverick. Maverick's reign was also short-lived, as R-Truth inexplicably popped out from the King of the Ring throne to sneak up behind Drake and roll him up for the 3 to regain the 24/7 championship in incredibly royal fashion.
The 14.